still. With their win tonight, Florida Gulf Coast moves on to the first round. They will play the North Carolina Tar Heels Thursday in the East Region. The number 1 seed Tar Heels. Also, the cooling off period for both teams, as far as locker room access goes, the winning team's cooling off period is effectively 10 minutes. After that point, 10 minutes after the game has ended, at that point, the winning team's locker room is open for media access. The cooling off period is effectively 15 minutes for the losing team, and then the losing team's locker room is open for the media after that 15-minute cooling off period is over. Again, we will be joined first by the head coach of Florida Gulf Coast Eagles, Joe Dooley. We will also be joined by some student athletes from Florida Gulf Coast. Again, the winning team has their press conference first. All right, so who's he bringing? Probably Marchetti, if I had to guess. With their win tonight, Florida Gulf Coast, as many of you know, moves on to the East Region first round. They will play the North Carolina Tar Heels, the number 1 seeded UNC. They will play them Thursday in Raleigh. Also, as far as locker room access goes, the way it works here at the First Four is that the winning team's locker room opens up first. After a cooling off period, it's about 10 minutes effectively after the game ends, which was about 8:51. The visiting team, the cooling off period is effectively 15 minutes. The losing team is effectively 15 minutes. Their locker room opens up for media access after about a 15-minute cooling off period. Also here at the first four, because the winning team has to get onto the first round site, they will come first. That's flip-flopped of what you'll see as you go to first and second round sites. The losing team has their press conference first, but we do winning team first here at the first four. We ask that you please silence your cell phones. There's no flash photography allowed or video recording, but there are AV stations across the hall. Also, we ask that you keep your audio recording devices off the table up here. For transcripts of this press conference and others we do here, you can go to ncaa.com/transcripts, and we'll also set out hard copies of the quotes from these pressers at the back here on the table, and also just to the left of the entrance to the media workroom, which is up at the top of the tunnel. For our student athletes, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach Dooley. We will and then we'll take questions only for the student athletes. We will dismiss them when questions are through. Then we'll open the floor for questions for Coach Dooley. And we do ask that when you're asking your question, put your hand up. We'll bring the mic around. Identify yourself by name and affiliation. And when we have our student athletes here, just please direct your question to a specific student athlete up here. All right, we're now being joined by the head coach of the Florida Gulf Coast, Joe Dooley, as well as a couple student athletes from FGCU. Coach, you can start with an opening statement if you like.
Well, I thought that our defense, to begin with, we didn't give up easy baskets, and I thought that Mark and Meach did a great job of changing some shots at the basket, and after that we were able to get out, and Mark and Christian, those guys got us a good start offensively. We played with some confidence, even though we didn't necessarily shoot the ball well, especially in the first half from the free throw line, but we didn't let it affect our defense, and we're proud of our guys for the effort tonight.
All right, we'll open the floor for questions for Mark, Eddie, and Christian only at this point. Here in the front on the right.
Dana Caldwell, Naples Daily News. Mark, Eddie, obviously you guys had a height advantage going into tonight. Clearly the game plan was to attack them early inside, early and often inside, and just kind of, if you would, talk to me about how you guys were able to do that tonight.
We just made sure we stuck to what we've been doing all year because that's what got us here. So Coach made the game plan and said we're going to do what we've been doing, and we did it, and it worked for us.
Yep, here on the left, on the aisle.
Both you guys, how do you feel?
Mark, can you answer that first, please?
Feel great. First NCAA tournament win, so it feels great.
Christian?
We're very blessed to be here, and we're excited for our next game, and we're just looking to play hard and be ready for that game.
Follow up right here on the aisle.
When they came at you guys in the second half, did you get nervous at some point?
Christian?
We knew they were going to make a run, and we just tried to withstand that, and I think we did a pretty good job of handling their run.
Here on the right on the aisle.
At the beginning, the ball movement looked like crisp, clean, pretty decisive. How are the nerves like going in the first few minutes of the game?
Mark Eddy?
It was good. The guys were very focused, and we talked about it. We said, look, we know that by the time the game starts, you'll be a little bit uptight, but just as soon as the ball go up, you'll be good. Just keep playing and make sure you have fun.
Tim, you're on the left.
Yeah, Mark Eddy, especially Morant, that the alley-oop at the very beginning, what kind of tone does that set for everybody? Does it kind of send a message?
Yes, it does, and Coach drew up the play, and we just executed just as he drew it.
Here in the front again on the aisle. And Laurel.
Both you guys don't want to get into North Carolina very much. We'll see you tomorrow. But I do want to ask you, a number 16 has never beaten a number 1. Do you take any solace at all in the fact that FGCU as a 15 is the only program to ever beat a number 2 or to go to the Sweet 16? Are you guys bolstered by that at all? And how do you feel going as a 16 against a number 1 on Thursday?
Mark Eddy.
We're just going to stay confident and believe in ourselves and give our best effort. Anything can happen. And as long as we do what Coach says, I'm pretty sure we can make it happen if it's possible.
Christian?
We're just going to continue to play our style of play and just look to play the right way, and hopefully we'll come out with a win.
Can you just talk a little bit about that turnaround? I'm assuming you guys are heading out there pretty quick tonight and then practice tomorrow, play Thursday.
Christian?
It's a little bit different. We haven't been doing that a lot recently, and it's a fast turnaround, but we're going to be ready.
Mark Eddy?
Coach already have a game plan for us. We're just going to follow it. I'm pretty sure we believe in him and we trust in him. It'll work.
Tim on the left.
Yeah, Mark Eddy and Christian, how would you describe y'all's style if someone has never seen you play before? It looks like energy is the basis of it.
Mark?
Yeah, I'm one of the energy guys on the floor. I just make sure we're vocal, active at all time, and just the energy always find the ball. That's what Coach tells us in practice, and it seems to work for us all season, so we're going to stick to it.
Christian?
Yeah, like Mark said, our energy is our main thing. We try to have as much energy on defense as possible, and I'd say our identity is defense. Our defense is what makes us go.
Any further questions for our student athletes here on the aisle?
Just the degree of how dominant you guys were in that first 20 minutes. I mean, good game plan and all that stuff and energy and all the things you have going for you. But did you guys expect it to be that severe in your favor that early, that much?
Christian?
Well, no, we can't really ever expect that. You got to come into the game thinking it's going to be a competitive game right at the beginning. But yeah, we just stayed focused no matter what the score was, and we were ready to play today.
We just kept playing defense because that's the only reason the score was the way it was in the beginning of the game, because we were playing defense, we were getting stops, and we were able to get some basket on the other end.
You got time for 2 more. Tim, on the left.
I'll jump ahead. What do you know about North Carolina, Mark Eddy? What impresses you about North Carolina? What you've seen of them this year?
I've watched them all season actually. They're always on TV, and their style of play is pretty fast, and they want to get up and down the floor and just fly around and use their length to their advantage.
We have time for one more question. Last one here on the aisle.
How much did you guys play against Joel Berry in high school?
Yeah, I played against him one game, and he was a great player. He dominated the whole game, and yeah, he was a great player. He still is.
Yeah, so same thing. I played with him. I think it was Kingdom of the Suns, and they actually ended up beating us by 1 point, and he played pretty well.
All right, Christian and Mark Eddy, thank you for your time. Good luck in the first round against North Carolina.
All right, thanks.
Questions for Coach Dooley. Here in the front.
Joe, it seemed like almost a perfect scenario for you guys tonight, really. You were able to build a good lead with your bigs. Your guards played, I thought, pretty well in the second half. You were able to go up against his zone and fared nicely against his zone. You were able to give some guys some minutes and some guys some rest. What are your overall thoughts on how this went and how that'll impact Thursday?
Well, it obviously gives them some confidence. I don't think it has any impact on Thursday, but I thought the guys did a nice job on a quick turnaround of paying attention. We had a few slip-ups like you're always going to have, but I thought Mark and Meach protected the basket. I thought we didn't give up a ton of easy ones, and let's cut the chase. They missed a few chippies too. I mean, I think both teams were a little jittery early. You could see it in our free throw shooting, but we just sort of kept plugging away, and I thought that our guys did a good job of using our depth.
Here on the aisle on the right.
After failing to break the press 2 times in a row, you called a timeout. What did you tell the guys, because eventually you guys were able to break the press and it seemed with ease?
Well, all of a sudden we forgot what got us there. We went from having a middleman and a sideline. All of a sudden you dribble up the side and someone forgets to cut, or we pick up a dribble, we threw a couple sloppy passes, and and then the other thing was we weren't being aggressive once we did break the press. We said, don't settle, let's go ahead and drive it downhill if we can and be aggressive. And I thought, once we did it a little bit later, we were much better, but don't be complacent.
Here in the front on the right.
Laurel Fairleigh for the Naples Daily News. Was that about as efficient as you've seen Meach and Marchetti?
Well, the big thing is Marchetti's had an unbelievable year, and Meach, when we've had him, has had a really good year. We're a different team with him, and the sad thing for him is he hasn't even been able to practice, virtually at all. And he's improved so much, and I think he's got so much more of a ceiling. So that's good news because we'll have both those guys back next year. But I thought those guys did a nice job playing. Meach is a presence around the basket, so you have to watch it when you drive it. And I thought Marchetti was very efficiently, obviously.
Here on the left.
Texas A&M, Florida, big teams, didn't have the same level of success that North Carolina had, but playing those games, big schools, big teams, what does that do to prepare your guys for this game?
Well, different style. Florida, was such a pressing transition team, so it's one thing, and Texas A&M was a sort of wind up and grind you out type team, and they could really throw the ball in the post and punish you that way. And they're so effective defensively. They're just very solid. Don't make mistakes. We've played in some big arenas. We've played some teams, but it'd be a whole different animal on Thursday.
You're in front, Laurel.
You mentioned the free throw shooting. Was that something you addressed at halftime? A little bit better in the second, or a lot better in the second half?
A lot better in the second half. We addressed it a couple timeouts in the first half, and it didn't work. I don't know what happened at halftime, but it's like everything else. Sometimes you start the game and guys are missing free throws, and sort of everybody does it, and then the next thing you know, guys start making free throws, and everybody starts making it. And Christian and Trey, I thought, really got us off to a start in the second half when guys started seeing the ball go through the basket, especially when they had made a little run to start the half, and I thought that sort of got our confidence back a little bit.
Here in the back on the left.
Madison Hampton with Eagle News, the FGCU paper. Back in 2013, you were over with Kansas. This is your first time in the NCAA tournament with FGCU. What is that like?
Well, it's great. We had some fans. The fans travel with us, and the excitement. It was especially hard for our fans because of the quick turnaround. You can't finding out at 8 o'clock at night where you're going the next morning. And it was great. The band, the people behind the bench were terrific, and also, as people said, the atmosphere in Dayton was terrific. The people here are unbelievably basketball crazy, and it's a great venue, great basketball venue.
Here in the front, on the right.
Joe, you mentioned confidence, that this was very important for that. Clearly confidence is going to be a huge deal going into play Carolina in Raleigh. How much confidence do these guys, do you feel, have right now? This is now, 8 out of 10, 5 or 6 in a row?
Well, the young guys, that's been the thing we've fought at times. They start looking around. They're getting older. They're starting to figure out they've got minutes. They've played minutes, and now, I think they believe in themselves, and they believe that, if we play the right way and we try to do some things we're supposed to, and we take care of the ball and we guard it, we could be a pretty good basketball team.
Here on the aisle on the left.
The TV guys were giving you hell. They had a close-up of your forehead with all the sweat. Real close-up. Beads everywhere. When you guys were up big. What's up with that?
I had nothing. I sweat walking down the street, and that's even worse in Florida. It was toasty in there, and The other option was to take off my sport coat, but then they would have seen how sweaty I really was because I sweat through the shirt too. So I mean, it was toasty, and it was toasty in the locker room too.
We have time for one more question. Last one here in the front.
George Willis, New York Post. What does it mean to you personally to get your team to this point and win this game after all the years you've been in coaching?
I think I can't believe how fortunate. I mean, Dr. Bradshaw and Ken gave me an opportunity to run the program and keep this thing rolling. And I'm fortunate. I've coached in every round of the NCAA tournament, from the first four to Final Fours. And I talk to our guys about how hard it is to get here. So it's hard. I mean, there's 68 of us, and there's a lot of people that have really good teams that aren't playing. And I told the guys to be appreciative of playing in this deal. I mean, not everybody gets to do it, and enjoy it, embrace the opportunity, and you know what? It's a pretty cool deal.
All right, Joe, thank you for your time. Good luck in the first round against North Carolina. All right, we're now joined by the head coach of Fairleigh Dickinson, Greg Arenda, as well as Knights student-athletes Darian Anderson, Earl Potts Jr., and Marcus Towns. Coach, if you'd like, Greg, you can start with an opening statement.
First of all, I just want to give the credit to Florida Gulf Coast. We knew they were very good, very long, very well coached. And tonight, they played that way. I'm disappointed that we didn't play our basketball, Fairleigh Dickinson basketball, in the first half. If we had, it could have been a competitive game in the second half, but the credit goes to Florida Gulf Coast. My guys are still champions. If I'm going to tell everybody they're the third youngest team in America after we win a championship, the fact remains we're still the third youngest team, and tonight we played like that early in the game. But again, Florida Gulf Coast gets the credit. I love my players still. I think we'll realize what we did in days to come. In these minutes, I told my team there's going to be 67 teams that have the same feeling that we have. But the feeling, no matter when it happens, is really harsh and difficult. But again, the credit goes to Florida Gulf Coast.
Questions for our student athletes only at this point. Here in the front on the left.
I'll start with you, Earl. Just what was it like being out there? Was it different than what you expected? And what happened that let the game get away, so quickly? And in terms of, you guys missed a lot of shots to start, I guess.
We just came out to a slow start. As you can see in the first possession of the game, we really just couldn't pick it up the first half, and we got it right the second half, which was too late.
Here in the front left.
Earl, was it their size and their speed that sort of caught you off guard early? Were they bigger and faster than you anticipated?
No, we were expecting them to be big and long and fast as they were, we just didn't come out to the start that we should have came out to.
Here in the front again.
For Marcus and Darian, what do you guys take away from this season? I know tonight didn't go the way you wanted, but what do you, is it too soon to realize what you accomplished, and what do you take away from this overall?
Marcus?
Well, what we want to take about all this is we had one hell of a season. We had one hell of a run. We fought hard all season, and we accomplished our goal, which was to get to the NCAA and play in March Madness. And we just happened to come up short, but that doesn't diminish our season. We still accomplished what we came here to do, and we just happened to fall short.
Darian?
We did accomplish our goal, but we wanted to accomplish more. Not using that we're young, we feel that we just didn't come out ready to play, and this is learning. We can just learn from it. Come back next year ready to make adjustments.
Any further questions for our student athletes? All right, Darian, Earl, and Marcus, thank you for your time and congratulations on your season. And now we will open the floor for questions for Coach Arenda. Yep, here on the right.
Greg, apologize for asking you to forecast FGCU forward a little bit, but they're built kind of with Power 5 conference teams in mind. Can you just offer some thoughts on how they might do versus a one, in this case UNC?
You know, I'm a basketball coach, not a prognosticator, but if they play the defense that they played tonight, they really defend all the things we said prior to the game. They defend really well. They search out good shots. They're a really good basketball. They need to take better care of the basketball. And if you turn the ball over in college basketball, it's a problem. And we forced 18 turnovers tonight, and that's what kind of kept us alive. But like I heard Joe when I came in here, he's coached in every round of the tournament at Kansas, and his kids are really good. I coached in Conference USA for 5 years, and they're Conference USA caliber players. Quick, athletic, shoot it. You got to make foul shots, and not turn it over. But I love their team, I really do. And I apologize to Joe because we just didn't push them enough in that first half. And I just wanted to give them a better game. My team is better. I think, youth had something to do with it, but we were steps slow tonight. And I think it's the quick turnaround. Our goal that we just made in the locker room is to come back here and win a game. Fairleigh Dickinson has never won an NCAA game, and now that's our new goal. Our goal previous was to get here. We got here. We won a championship. So proud of these kids. Now we have to get back, and I think going through it once is going to help us the next time we get back here.
Here in the front on the left.
Greg, George Willis, New York Post.
George.
You said you were disappointed. Were you also surprised that your team didn't come out faster?
Well, we've done this a lot, like we did in the Wagner game, but we were able to come back. But when you play a level of caliber player and team that Florida Gulf Coast presented tonight, you just can't do that. And I think our guys have to learn. The one thing that we, as a young group, we need to be more urgent more often, And they play hard in practice, but I'm a very demanding coach, and when we are going to win a game in this tournament, the players need to be more demanding of themselves. And I think that comes with experience, but I'm just, I just said it before, the further we get away from this game, the more we'll understand how much we did this year. We were picked 9th in the league and won a championship. And it was a terrific year. It's just a very sobering feeling when you compete, and these kids compete every drill, every possession, every day, and then the finality is hard, and that's why this tournament is the greatest tournament that God ever made, because the benefits are incredible, but the expenses of your heart and your soul it hurts.
Anything further for Coach Arenda? All right, Greg.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on your season.
Thank you very much.